Why do you make jewelry?
Well, if I don't make something, I get very cranky. And the very first time my husband and I had a fight 25 years ago, afterwards he said, you better just go make something. And oh, okay. And at that point it was sewing and preserves. The jewelry thing, I don't know, there was some appeal about the being able to make something look like it had history, a long story of somebody giving a piece to somebody and then it being lost or buried and finding it again. And I really love it too when something looks like it's been repaired, because that meant somebody really loved it. They really loved it and they fixed it and they kept wearing it. So everything sort of has its own little story to it. And those little book things have little stories to them. I do a lot of little miniature books. Some of them aren't so miniature. There's a couple hanging up there that are a bit bigger. And I come here just about every single day, and I can't keep away. And so it's my dream. And I didn't even know it. I just thought, well, this will be nice. I can set up a little studio. And then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock. I better go home. Or the phone will ring at 9:30. Are you coming home for dinner? Just wondering. Oh, okay.
Wow, look at this.
I just keep playing. It's the best job in the world.
Ever.
Okay, Lynn.
And this is my most fun thing, is watching people scrabble through there.
Right?
I feel like I'm at in like a vintage industrial shop, and I'm like putting all my.
Well, in vintage and industrial, those are my favorite things.
How did you get started doing this?
A gentleman in Elora named Pepe Fernandez had a silversmithing shop, and he did all of his work in the back. And I came and watched him one day, and at the end of the day he said, I don't teach, but if you want to learn, just show up. So I would just show up and sort of fumble along and then ask him for help, and he'd say, watch me. I'm not teaching you, but you watch me. So I'd watch him, and then I'd try and do what he was doing, and if I didn't do a very good job, he grabbed it out of my hands. He said, watch me, and he'd do it again. And I did that for years.
How long ago was that?
That would have been 20 years ago. And then I didn't get this place until 2 years ago. Pepe moved to Toronto about 5 years ago, maybe. So not having that connection, I mean, I see him lots, but not having his space and his workshop, I was really chomping at the bit to have somewhere to work. So I sort of overtook a friend's basement, but then she went to put her house for sale, and having this in her basement wasn't a big selling point. No. Unless it had been somebody like me, say. And then this house came for sale right about at a time when we were trying to find a place for my parents to live in Fergus. They're from Peterborough. So this was the best of all possible worlds.
So this is not a lump of clay.
No, it's a lump of silver. Pure silver.
Well,
with
put
a
that
little
in
bit
your
of binder in there.
And then the binder burns off, and ta-da.
Yep. And so this is the clay when it's still got water in it. It's very
So that's silver.
unctuous. This is silver. And it's called silver clay because it feels like clay.
Yes.
You know,
It's just like Play-Doh.
it is. And so people believe it to be clay. And so they're really confused. How do you get jewelry out of clay?
Right.
But it's not. It's silver. So it's been powdered, mixed with water and binder. And the binder is just cellulose. It's just a little bit of plant
So
fiber.
it's just ground down, I guess.
Exactly. That's exactly. So,
Turned into this
Yeah.
so that you can shape it.
yeah. So then when it's soft like this, I can, I could make an imprint on anything. When it's hard, then my job is a little bit more difficult. And I wouldn't do so with such a big lump like this. That is a big lump that got dried. But I could carve this into something because this is carvable. So I could just, and if I knew how to really carve,
Right.
and I can carve, but I don't tend to carve in great big lumps like that.
Right. Color too. How'd you have the color?
The green?
Sorry, yeah.
It's a polymer that I've put in there. So I just tried doing that this summer for the first time, and I love it.
Nice effect, yeah.
Yeah. It's not for everybody, but
No, it's
but
gorgeous.
works really nicely with the silver because the silver's so bright.
Yeah.
And if you're a person that, you know, needs a bright color, then works. Go over one more. That one up now. So that one is etched copper and a piece of bronze that I've put,
Oh my god.
I've put a fossil imprint on one side, and on the other side is a different fossil imprint. I'm big into fossils.
So you've put together your three things.
Yeah, that's what I'm loving doing more than anything.
Oh my god.
And here's the most hysterical part of
This
all.
one is stunning.
That's fantastic.
This is gorgeous.
I
Amazing.
love that one.
This,
So, when I said I, start putting my stuff together out of all my bits and pieces,
oh,
these are like all my bits and pieces. These are finished pure silver, and we have earrings and pendants and lockets. I just spent a week in the States at a retreat learning teaching myself how to do these hinges, because these hinges are fiddly and a bit of a pain. But now I think I've got it, so I'll keep doing hinge stuff. And these are a new design for me that have this bit of color in it. And the color is a little bit of polymer.